Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sedona International Film Festival 2024. I'm Tanya June Moore and we're in our 30th year. 30! Amazing! I want to give a huge shout out to all the volunteers, the hotels, the restaurants, and all the other support that we get from this community to put off a festival that's amazing, because we consider ourselves the Filmmakers Festival, because we have incredible filmmakers like this that come in and show us how it's done. So please introduce yourself and your film.
Good morning. My name is Meg Jenkins Locke. My film is Sister, and I'm from the Carolinas.
I love it. We deserve to have somebody like you. I'm from Kentucky, so I get that accent. You brought us a trailer, so I want people to watch the trailer, and then I want us to have a little conversation
Sure.
about this. This is a good feely film. Roll the trailer, please.
What can I get you?
I want a drink.
No, you came to the right place.
Might have stopped too soon.
Well, maybe stopped at the right time.
All these years we've been swimming, laughing, crabbing, tanning, living.
I don't think I can come back.
I want you to.
Welcome back. There are lots of really beautiful, sweet moments that are quiet
Right.
in this film.
Right.
Our audiences really appreciate those. And was it intentional for you to stretch those out? Because I really loved being in the moment of allowing that to feel those for more than a half a second.
Well, this is my first film and my first screenplay, and so I wrote and produced it, and I had a phenomenal director named Shane Andrews, who's part of Happy Bad Bungalow Productions, and I met him online in a independent film school course because I wanted how to write a screenplay, and so we went from this all the way in, and he contacted me and said, I want to direct your film, and I said, okay, and so I have a producer's mentality. He raised the money, he did the things, but he also had Billy Magnuson as his partner, and in that same course was Jane Brooke, and so he contacted Jane and said, do you want to do this? So the moments, back to your question, are I wrote a script that as you write, I think Shane says it, you have the film that you write, you have the film that you shoot, and you have the film that you end up with and edited. And we had a phenomenal editor, but Shane really did the most of that, the bulk of that. And what I would tell you is less dialogue just made more sense. And we did trust the audience, and I'm sure the Sedona audience will, of course, understand this. But the longer the moment, the more you're allowed to be a part of what we were trying to do.
Yes.
I'm glad you saw that. I think that was it. It's like we had words in different scenes, and we're like, cut the dialogue. It's not necessary. Like, literally, it's not necessary.
Well, this is a beautiful example of show me.
Right. Thank you.
Let me understand through my own filter, my own lens.
Nice.
And I think that there's a lot more of that happening. I think you're, to talk about trends, that's very on trend. We've really, in my opinion, dumbed down audiences. And this is one that allows people to have those moments.
I think the more we saw it started at about 18 minutes, and I think we had different scenes that we cut because it's inspired on a true life story about myself and my sister. My sister was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015, remission 2016, was re-diagnosed with leukemia that was caused by her former exposure to her radiation and chemotherapy for her breast cancer, and she died in July of 2021. No one loved life more. No, there's not a better sister. It's a love story between sisters. And so I think what's lovely is you see that dynamic, and yet all of us is a universal thing for all of us.
Yes, and not just with sisters, but with all people in our
Everyone.
lives. And I think the beauty of what you've created here is the allowance of people to understand it.
Well, that 17 minutes, we knew we wanted to cut it, and the more we cut, the more we were like, it just makes sense to allow all of those emotions to be present, because it's also funny. You know,
It is very funny.
It's funny, and I think that was, it's
Your bartender.
It's Billy Magnuson. Billy Magnuson
He's
is having a
fantastic.
banner year. Billy was just in Lift with Kevin Hart, the #1 movie on
Yep.
Netflix. He was just in. They're premiering at South by Southwest with the Roadhouse remake. He's in
Yes.
that, and he's with Peter Sarsgaard in theaters this summer with Coup. Billy is a Tony-nominated actor that I ended up being able to act with Billy, who was fun and lively, but has this depth to him, and this role really showed that.
Yes.
But our rapport was great. But then I had Jane, who is an industry actor from Boston Legal and Grey's Anatomy, and has done, and many people will know her from Star Trek.
Yes.
Jane is such a gifted, generous talent, because you said when you saw you loved her. She delivers her lines. She's from Chicago. She grabbed the I sound that I have, nice white rice, from the Southern accent. She was able to deliver that without it being silly.
Yes.
And not once do I think you feel pity for this character. You just care about her.
Yes.
And that was how my sister was. You
What-
didn't pity her.
Was this uber healing and cathartic for you?
It's interesting. I have been a writer for a long time, and I had started a memoir called The Grief Sister, because this was not the beginning of my grief. This was from years ago, and so I'd been writing this memoir. And then Mary Millette got sick again, and I had to put the memoir aside. And so when I began that course, this was sort of the scene I started with. I don't know that therapeutic. I like to say that we live with our grief, not through our grief. Even watching that, it's been 2 years. It hasn't been that long, but many years since she was diagnosed. And I'm glad she's not suffering, and yet I miss her every minute of every day. And the film, I will tell you all this, and this is, I think Mary Millette would laugh about this. It allows me to talk about her all the time. Like, people don't get me. I'm like, oh, you did the short film? Yeah. Is it about your sister? Yeah, let me tell you about my sister. Instead of people being like, oh my gosh, she's talking about her dead sister again. You know what I mean?
And that's part of, if people would just talk and,
Yeah.
and share, like, that's part of the healing for most people. But
Absolutely.
we have been told
Conditioned.
that's not, and conditioned
Yes.
to believe that that's not healing, that that's not
Right.
okay, that it's uncomfortable.
Right.
Girl, thank you for making us uncomfortable.
Well,
keep
I
making
mean-
it work, because it helps other people. So you still have screeners. You haven't screened yet at this
No, I
festival.
screened this evening in the short block at 7 at Harkness.
Harkins.
Harkins, sorry, Harkins.
okay.
I'm learning. At Harkins, and then on Friday as well in the 1 o'clock short block.
Okay, so people, our audiences love these short blocks. You, I think, will have a really beautiful audience attendance, and I know that they will love this, because this will hit them in all the feels.
Right. I want to thank you. I want to thank the Sedona International Film Festival for allowing me to screen here. I am delighted. I do think the message, the love story between the sisters, the message that those we love never truly leave us, is really important.
Agreed.
And I think we are in an area where people really embrace that.
You are in the right place.
I think we're in the right place in Sedona. I was here 25 years ago with my family, as I told you earlier, and I'm so glad to be back. What a beautiful area of the country.
Well, welcome to the Sedona International Film Festival.
you so
and I am
much.
going to say it because I say it to all the people who do film festivals. This spoils you.
Yes.
Keep your expectations low, not because they're not wonderful festivals, but something about this incredible festival
It's magical.
makes magic for our filmmakers.
It does,
and it's
thank
really
you.
about you. We can't have a festival if the filmmakers don't show up en masse, right?
And I've seen several other films at other things, and I know some of the other filmmakers, and you're in for a treat this year. They are wonderful films in this
Agreed.
festival. Y'all have done a fabulous job.
Agreed.
I'm just honored to be a part of it.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so
and thank
much.
you for our being here for our 30th, because this is a big deal. This
That's
is a big deal for
fabulous.
us.
Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you. Y'all go see this one. Get in the rush line. I'm sure it's already sold out, but the rush line will always be available for you. Our hashtag this year is SIF30, and please stay tuned. There'll be another incredible filmmaker in the seat right after this.